everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm back to my solo variant shenanigans again. This time I tried designing a solo and cooperative variant for Galaxy Trucker, one of my favorite competitive games from CGE, and they were nice enough to send me a copy of the new edition just for me to try out some ideas, so thanks to that, although I do want to note this is not an official solo or co-op variant, it's just something I'm playing around with. And if you don't know Galaxy Trucker, the basic idea is you build a ship out of tiles with cannons and cargo space and engines, and then you race the other players, contending with a series of adventure cards, sometimes with enemies attacking you, sometimes with opportunities like planets to pick up cargo from. And after you survive going through all of the adventure cards, you see who has earned the most galactic credits. And this video is going to be in 3 parts. First, I'm going to quickly go over the basics of Galaxy Trucker if you haven't played before. Then I'm going to talk about the specifics of how the solo and co-op variant works. And finally, I'm going to do a full solo playthrough. And if you like our content on the One Stop Co-op Shop or you want to support me making these solo and co-op variants, please check out our Patreon, our Discord, our streaming channel, and our weekly podcast. Lots of stuff to enjoy. But for now, let's get into the basics of how Galaxy Trucker is played. So in Galaxy Trucker, each player has a player board, you have a 1-flight board, a 2-flight board, and then if you want to get really complicated, you can go to a 3-flight board. But in any case, you have a starting cabin component in the center. That's where some of your crew will be. And the first phase of the game is building your ship. You can, with one hand, pull out tiles one at a time, and once you bring them over your player board, you can flip them over. And each tile has an illustration showing what type of component it is. In this case, it's a single cannon. And it'll also have one or more connectors. They can either be single connectors like you see here, double connectors like you see on the left here, or universal connectors that can connect to a single or a double. And the rule is everything in your ship has to be connected back in one piece. You can only have single with single or universal, double with double or universal. And you can never have a connector going into nothing like right here. I would have to throw away one of these components and have like a hole in my ship. And basically you're putting down components, building them out from the center. You can also reserve up to 2 components at a time to place onto your board later. And all this is happening in real time with all the players pulling from the same pool. And whenever the sand timer runs out, a player can flip it to the next space. And when a player thinks that they are done building their ship, only then can they flip to the S space, which triggers kind of the end of the building. And once they've done that, they can put their little ship miniature on the furthest most spot or whichever spot they want. And the other players will fill in behind them as they finish. And these will show your starting spots. Basically, whoever's in front has to confront things first, but also, very importantly, gets the first opportunity to benefit. Because then you're going to go into the flight phase where you'll go through a series of cards, and each of them will generally have a danger or opportunity the players must face in turn order in terms of who's in front. Like here, you could land on one of these 3 planets to get cargo, and if the first player took the most valuable planet, the players behind would only be able to pick from these remaining 2. And this is the number of days it costs to take advantage of this opportunity, which just means you move your ship back that many spaces, and you always jump other players. So like if I move back 1 more day, I would be behind the other player. And there's lots of other little details to the adventure cards, but I'll explain the ones that come up in the actual flight, because that part is not real time, so I have all the time in the world to kind of talk through things. And by the way, it's important to note that you're not at the complete mercy of randomness with this. Once you have placed at least 1 component on your ship beside your starting component, you can freely look at 3 of the 4 piles that will make up the entire adventure deck for the flight. And that way you can see what's coming, which types of components might be most important. Do you need a lot of cannons? Do you want a lot of cargo? And you can try to build your ship accordingly, although, of course, looking at those and thinking about them is going to take some of your time and make it more likely that you'll finish behind somebody else. Now to quickly go through the different components you'll see. First of all, there are extra crew cabins like the one you start with. You need astronauts to take advantage of some opportunities, and also if you run out of crew, then you have to give up the flight. And there are alien life support modules that you can place next to a crew cabin to let you have an alien on your ship, which tend to boost either your engines if it's brown or your cannons if it's purple. Speaking of engines and cannons, here they are. Cannons will shoot meteors that try to hit your ship and can also help you defend against enemies attacking you, although they have to be at the outskirts of your ship pointing in different directions. Generally, front-facing is most useful. And engines have to be at the very rear of your ship with nothing behind them, and they help you go faster, which as previously noted is very important to get you in front so you can take advantage of opportunities first. And some cannons and engines are double cannons or engines. You'll see 2 little exhaust ports here. And those provide double the effect, but you'll see they have some green wiring in here. That means they need batteries to run, which these battery components provide. Basically, you spend 1 battery at a time. This one can hold 2 to power your different components, which also include shields that can protect you on 2 of the 4 quadrants, wherever they are in your ship. It just depends on which way they're facing. but they again cost batteries. And finally, you have cargo in red and white. Red can hold any cube, including the most valuable, whereas white can only hold the 3 less valuable cube types. And these ones just help your ship hold together better. They have a ton of connectors, so that if some things get shot off of you or crushed by meteors, your entire ship won't fall to pieces. All right, so those are the basics of Galaxy Trucker overall. Let's get to how my solo and co-op variant works. So the basic idea of this variant is that you have an Automa player that does not have an actual ship. Instead, a card determines their overall statistics. And regardless of the number of players in solo or co-op, you always have one Automa, so you can play up to 3 co-op players against the one enemy player. And basically, to balance that out, they get to multiply their score at the end, and the sum total of everyone's credits, everyone's money, has to exceed the Automa, regardless of the player count. Now, as for shipbuilding, it is literally identical to the competitive play, except, of course, you don't actually have an enemy going against you, and if you're playing co-op, you can talk to each other and be like, hey, I really need that cannon, can you save that for me, and kind of like work together that way. But the key thing is, instead of choosing to flip a sand timer, whenever you see that it has run out, you have to flip it to the next spot, and you start, by the way, by flipping the sand timer on the starting spot. And you want to finish your shipbuilding as quickly as possible, because if you can place your ship on the board before the sand timer has been flipped to the S space, you get to go on the 1. If you finish your ship before the sand runs out on the S space, you go on the 2. And if you still aren't done, you can do one more flip off the board entirely, but then if you finish your ship, you go on to 3, and if the sand timer runs out there, you just have to stop building wherever you are. And then you do turn order with the Automa pretty simply. If you finish before it flipped to the S, like this yellow guy here, then you are in front of the Automa. If you finish after it flipped off the board, you're on the 3, then you're automatically behind the Automa. And if you finish while it was on the S, which means you're on the 2 space, then you have a 50-50 chance. A 4, 5, 6 will put you in front of the Automa, or, oops, there you go, you're behind the Automa. And players in the same general position in front of or behind can freely discuss who goes where. So like if both red and yellow are behind the blue Automa here, red could decide that they want to be second and yellow wants to be third. And then before you get to the actual flight phase, you draw a random card. And sorry, I only had pink paper in my house and no color ink. So these look a lot nicer on the actual cards I created. But the basic idea is you look at the flight you are flying, so 1, 2, or 3. And this indicates the number of components of each type that the Automa has on their ship. Like here for Flight 2, they would have 8 cargo components, 7 cannons, 4 engines, and 4 crew compartments. The numbers up here are used for if the Automa suffers damage. You'll see that in the play, potentially. And if they suffer damage, since they don't use batteries for anything else, you just put a battery on the indicated quadrant, and that shows they've taken 1 damage, which means their value is counted as 1 less, and they also pay some money at the end of the flight, which is also what happens with damaged components that fall off your ship in the regular game. And besides that, everything just comes down to the choices they make, and this is all explained in the rules doc that I have linked in the video description. But it's super straightforward and kind of what you would expect. Every time they come to an opportunity that they can take advantage of, they will always take advantage of it, even if it might be smarter for them to be a bit more cautious. And again, at the end of the flight, you compare the money that you and your team have made to the Automa, possibly multiplying it based on players, and you see who wins. And that's basically it. We'll see some details as we get through the playthrough, but let's try out Galaxy Trucker. All right, I hope you'll pardon me. This is probably going to be a little bit insane because I'm going to build my ship in real time. And then, gosh, I guess I'll try to look at the cards, and I can't really explain them. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll try things out. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, crew, that's actually pretty good. I'll save that for a second, although, yeah, a crew can be good, but I don't want to have, oh, that's good. I want to have a lot of, like, multi-connectors right now, and then things branching off into large parts of my ship. Actually, let's do that one like that for now. And let's look at stuff now that I have for my ship. Okay, so I don't want to have too few cannons or I'll get blasted, and pirates are going to get me if I don't have enough cannons. Okay, and I want a lot of crew, so crew and cannons. Crew and cannons. And oh my gosh, so much crew, so much cannons. It's all about crew and cannons. So that's really all I care about, which means that I also want to have this crew one. And I'm not putting them next to each other because there is a card called Epidemic that can hurt you a lot. I'll put a cannon there. So I want crew cannons. I probably want a red alien as well because they boost your combat power greatly. And I'm just trying to, oh, there we go. So that's the alien I want. Where can I put him? Right here would actually work out pretty well. Let's get the connectors better. Okay, save that for a second. Now I don't really have to use in the co-op and solo. I don't have to use my my reserve here because I can always just grab things later. There's no other player to steal it from me. Ooh, I don't really need this many batteries, but it is nice to be able to reach down to my ship. Okay. Oh, more crew. That seems good. Let's do it like that, I guess. Okay. And sure, there's almost too much crew now, but hey, we say we need a lot. Okay. And the timer's already about to run out once. Cargo is never bad. There we go, some cargo. And, engine. I mean, sure, whatever. Okay, and more crew. Okay, maybe this is too much crew. but it's okay. It kind of fits there. Oh, and the timer ran out. Okay, so right now I'm still good. I got one more full time before I would take a penalty. Oh, cargo. That's actually pretty good. There we go. I need engines, like at least a few engines. I need a lot more cannons, like a lot more cannons. Oh, this is a double cannon. It doesn't really fit anywhere. Actually, that's fine. It'll be blocked a little bit right there. And I do have the batteries to run it. That's an engine, and it does fit there. Beautiful. And double engine, but again, I got batteries, so I'm not too worried. That cargo goes nicely there. And okay, more cannon. Yes. Oh, that was perfect cannon. So I think I need to get over 8. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm already doing pretty well on cannons. And I like to often line my entire front with cannons to make sure that I can deal with asteroids and stuff, meteors. Okay, that was good. That was very good. Oh, no, I'd rather have a cannon there. Okay. And yeah, you can put things over here on the side and see stuff you've already flipped. I'm trying to keep things in frame somewhat, so I'm not doing as well. Okay. Sometimes asteroids or meteors come from the side, so it doesn't hurt me too much to have a cannon like that. That does fit. That does fit. Awesome. Oh, man. I probably need more batteries now, though. Did I see? Yeah, here's another battery. That's too many, though. Because, yeah, I have so many things that are doubles. I'm kind of worried about it. So we'll put some more batteries there, and that doesn't fit. Crud. Okay, I'm going to be in a roll-off. I can't finish yet. I definitely can't finish yet. No. Crud. Okay, it's okay. I'm actually doing kind of okay on time. It's not the end of the world if I have to let that thing run out. And it just did. Okay, so now I'm in a 50-50 shot of beating the AI to go first. I definitely cannot automatically go first anymore. I don't need engines. Batteries, I want a curve. Okay, that's a gun. That will not work at all. Okay, you know what? Whatever. We'll have multiple guns shooting that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half guns, or guns that are to the side are only worth half. 7, 8, so I need one more gun. I do need one more gun. So I need kind of a curve here. I need a 3-way piece. Okay, whatever. Let's use that one. That does nothing else for me. Total waste in a way. So now I want a forward-facing gun. Well, whatever. It's okay. It's not great to have connectors going off the side, but I do have an engine, or a shield over here. Oh, wait, crap. I didn't finish that. I just need something that goes straight with 2 singles. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, that's way too much engine. Don't really have enough batteries, but I am done. I'm going on the second spot because I am on the S, which means it'll be a 50-50 roll-off for whether I go before the AI. Boom. We have built our ship. We'll make the Automa blue. If we get a 4, 5, 6, I'm before them. Come on. Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm in first, and they are in second. Awesome. And now I take all the cards I saw, plus 2 level 2 cards and 1 level 1 card that I never saw. There's always a little bit of unknown in the race. And I shuffle them all up, and we're going to go one at a time. But first, let's see how my competitor is looking. See, they have 7 cannons, 8 cargo. Wow, a ton of cargo. 6 engines, and only 2 crew. So I'm going to destroy them in crew. And I'm a bit better than them in cannons, but they're definitely faster than me unless I spend a ton of energy. And they have way more cargo capacity. Although we'll see if they can benefit from it. There weren't that many planets. All right, to set them up, I am going to put astronauts here, 2 times the number of cabins. So they've got 4. Now, it's important to note, because the AI can be stupid, usually if you run out of human astronauts, you have to give up the race, but they will never give up the race. Even if they run out of astronauts, they will keep on going. Meanwhile, I've got a ton of astronauts, just like we planned, and 1 purple alien to give me extra cannon strength because of that life support component connected to it. And then I've got some batteries, and that's all you need to set up. Let's get into the race and see how it happens. Wow, right off the bat, we have pirates. If we can shoot them with greater than 6 cannon strength, we can loot their destroyed ship for 2 days to get 7 credits. But otherwise, each person that can't shoot them going back until somebody destroys them and stops them will take 2 heavy cannon fire and 1 light cannon fire. Heavy cannon fire is unstoppable. What you do is you roll the 2d6, you check the direction it's coming from, in this case from the front. So like here, if I rolled an 8, it would just blast this cannon off my ship. I would have to pay 1 money at the end of the race for it. Now the AI works a little bit differently. You see if the die roll is within their range. So for heavy cannon fire, they're hit with a 5 to 9, which means this 8 would have hit them. And when they could be hit, you roll 1 die at a time, and the first die determines where they get hit. So here a 2 would be hitting them, which means they would take 1 damage to their cargo components because it's a 1 or a 2 for that. Just a quick way to tell when they get shot, since they don't actually have a board with locations and rows and columns. But here it's no problem at all to get over 6. We've got 2 from the purple alien, 3 from the 2 side-facing cannons, because they're worth half, 4, 5, 6, So we need to get to 7 or 8 or even 6.5. And if I spend 1 energy for one of my double cannons, I'll use this energy if it's off in the middle of nowhere. That'll use one of these double cannons to get me to 8, and I blow up the pirates. So I'll go back 2 days and get 7 credits. Awesome. And next we have some Stardust. We're going to lose 1 day of travel for every open connector we have anywhere on our ship. Now, this is one of the places where the AI has a big advantage. Their open connectors is equal to the number of damage they have taken. So right now they're considered to have a perfect ship, whereas I have 1 there and 1 there. Wow, I built a pretty good ship though. So I only go back 2 days. So leapfrog them. They are in front now. They'll be first to resolve the next card. And it's a combat zone. We're going to look at each of these characteristics one at a time. First, we'll see who has the fewest crew, and they'll go back 3 days. Then we'll see who has the fewest engine strength, and they'll lose 2 crew. And finally, who has the least cannon strength, and they'll get shot with some cannons. Tiebreakers are lost by the person further in front. So I think this will actually work out pretty well for us. I did prepare for this. So least crew is certainly the AI. They're going back 3 days. 1, 2, 3. We're back in front. Least engine strength, they've got 6. We've got 1, which is the only one we get without any batteries. I could spend 3 batteries to fire all 3 of these and get 7, but that seems like a foolish thing to do. So I'm just going to lose the 2 crew members. And just in case there is an epidemic card hanging out that I didn't see, it would hurt crew members that are next to each other. I'll get rid of both of these guys. Okay, and then finally we're doing least cannon strength. The AI has 7, and I've got, just to say it again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So using a single battery to get a double cannon shooting will get me to 8, just beating them, which means they're getting shot by small and then large cannons. Yes. So for the light cannon, they're going to be hit on a 6 through 8. Remember, we roll 1 at a time, so 1 will be the location. Oh, a 5. They dodged it, or they used a shield. You know, you can imagine whatever you want to think they did. For heavy cannon fire, they got to roll a 5 to 9. That's almost impossible not to do. A 2 and a 3. There we go. We hit them, and the 2 was first. So they're taking damage on their cargo, which they had so much of, they're not even going to care. Although that does now count as 1 open connector to slow them down if Stardust comes up again. And it's going to cost them 1 credit at the end. So right now they're in the hole -1, like in that. All right, here we go again. On abandoned ship, I can lose 4 crew members to get 6 money. I seem to remember I needed crew for something better. But the AI will get this if I don't, because remember, they can give up all of their crew and still be okay. And I want them to get 6. So sure, I'm going to take advantage of this. It cost me 1 day. And 4 crew. Wow. There's going to be a skeleton crew pretty quickly. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets me 6 more money. I am doing awesome right now. Okay. Oh no, this is good for the AI. A planet to land on. It'll cost 4 days to land there, and I'm still in front, so I'll get first choice of planets if we both land. But yikes, this is a red heavy planet, and I only have a single red cargo. I don't think I saw that one when I was looking, so this must have been in the hidden section. Yeah, and I can only hold 7 cubes overall. But I kind of sort of want to go to this one just to block the AI out, because they can hold all that crap. They have so much room on their ship. And the colors correspond to different values. Red's worth 4, yellow 3, green 2, blue 1. So this is basically a 15-point planet, and this one's 12. And yeah, I think I am going to go here, so I'll stop for 4, and the AI will always stop if they can improve their cargo holds. They'll get the 2 reds and 2 greens. And I'll take both of us back 4 days, so I don't really need to move us. I can only store 1 red and 1 yellow. I have to throw the rest out. Let's put it kind of close to my center. And they get 2 reds and 2 greens, and it's kind of hard to see, but each of their cargo, they have 7 left, can hold either 1 red or 2 of any other color. So that's 1, 2, 3 of their cargo holds out of 7 full right now. All right, so that was not as good for me. Let's have no more planets. Ah, there it is, the abandoned station. But it was only cargo. I would have had to have 7 crew. I would not lose them. I would just have to have enough of them to spend a day raiding it. But I only have 5 crew members left. The AI only has 4, so we're going to skip that. Okay, yeah, maybe I should have kept my crew. Neither of us can do that one either. That's okay. I think we're still in the lead. Ooh, another Stardust. So I still have 2 open connectors. Now the AI has 1 because of that damage to their cargo. So they're going to go back 1, and I'll go back 2. They are in front. Maybe an alien will, blow them up. That'd be great. Oh, dang, they got in front just in time to take advantage of this. They're going to lose 3 crew members to get 4 credits and lose a day. I'll be back in front. So bye-bye. And here's their money. And again, whoosh, I'm in the front again. With only 3 cards left. No, not open space. Okay, I have a tough choice to make, because I'd like to stay in front of them, both to take advantage of the 2 cards remaining, and also because you get more credits at the end of the race based on your position. So I guess I can do all 3 batteries. I've still got 2 left, so yeah, let's go for it. So 1, 2, 3 to fire all of my double engines, which gets me to 7 engine strength, barely beating out their 6, which means in the wash, I get ahead 1 more space. Awesome. Okay, 2 left. Smugglers. Ooh, I wish they had been in front. That would have been smarter. The smugglers would have stolen 3 of their cubes, and then I would have shot them anyway. So, silly me. I should have remembered that was coming. But here I can protect the AI, I think. Do I have enough left? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so 1 battery would tie and 2 would win. Ha ha ha. If I just tie, I don't destroy them, and they go back and attack the AI and would steal 3 of their cubes, and they take the most valuable ones. So the AI would lose these 3, whereas if I defeat the guys, I would only gain 2 yellows because I can't fit another red. So let's be a little mean here and hurt them. That does cost me 1 of my 2 last batteries. But that was huge. I think I'm going to crush them. Ooh, but they do get a planet. And actually, this time it's not worth it to block them out on the red, because 2 red is worth 8 credits and 4 green is worth 8 credits, so they're going to benefit the same either way. But I need the 4 green because I can't fit the red. So we'll both stop for 3 days. They'll get 2 red, and I'll get 4 green. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was awesome. I definitely crushed them here. Although I'll tell you how I could have made it harder in just a second. First, let's count our money. So I did finish in front for 8, and they get 6 credits for being in second place. Then we see which ship is the prettiest for 4 bonus credits. I still have my 2 open connectors. They only count as having 1. So those 4 credits are all theirs. Then we sell our cargo. I'm getting 4, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. Not a bad haul. And thanks to those smugglers helping me out, they're only getting 10. Ouch. And then finally we pay 1 credit per destroyed component. They're the only ones with any, which is 1. And they lose 1, and we're down to our final score. So they ended up with 23 credits, and I ended up with 36. That was awesome. But of course, this was on normal difficulty for the Automa, and I've been playing Galaxy Trucker for like 10 years since it first came out. So the nice thing is the game already has these rough road cars that can make how you build your ship and how you fly way, way tougher, and you can use as many as you want. So it's a very easy way to make the game with the Automa tougher if you want to. Like probably here, for me, 1 or 2 rough road cars would have made it a really, really tight race. But there you go. That is Galaxy Trucker Solo Co-op. Hope you enjoyed watching it. And thanks again to Check Games Edition for letting me try out the new version of the game. It's cheaper and still has all the fun of the old versions, or at least the base game, not the expansions. So definitely worth looking into. Thanks for watching, good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.